Can you hear me now, Cherry? Let me know if maybe I pressed my microphone button and that meant that you couldn't hear anything. Let me know now. Day one, rookie move. Okay, beautiful. Day one, self-care reset. This is something that I think we could all really use right now. I would love to know how you are feeling like in this moment. So if in the chat you could just write one word, how are you feeling in this moment? No judgment, no expectations, no like, I don't know, need to be anything other than what you are. Maybe the word is happy. Maybe it's overwhelmed. Maybe it's burnt out. Maybe it's stressed. Maybe it's guilty. Give me an idea of how you are feeling. Oh, Jillian, I love the word frazzled. We have heavy. Very valid. All of these things is so valid. Overwhelmed. Yeah, 2 overwhelms. You bet. Okay. Honoring where you're at right now. And looking forward to sharing with you some secrets from Lovely Human School's 8-week course. Originally, the 8-week course was just called Lovely Human School, and now we've like grown Lovely Human School to be so much more. But basically what we're going to do for the next 3 days, I'm going to pull content from that like super juicy course, and I'm actually going to share it with you because I think that it's really important that we have sort of like a framework or a plan when we're feeling like we're frozen and we're not getting like closer to where we want to be. And also when we're feeling guilty about actually taking time for ourselves when there's like so many things to do on our list. So before we get into today's little like mini lesson, what I would love to do is just like really anchor down and get grounded with you so that we can like actually be here. This is like step one of our framework, is that we need to get present. We need to get mindful. So wherever you're at, if you would just be able to, turn down any sort of noise distractions, put your phone on do not disturb, maybe close your eyes if that feels really good to you. I'm going to stay in this little sun patch here. And let's just take an inhale through our nose. So go ahead and fill up. Out the mouth, this first one with an HA sound. Good. Go ahead. Inhale. Exhale with that HA out the mouth. Kind of like a sigh. And this inhale through the nose. And see if you can exhale out the nose. That's it. Tongue on the roof of your mouth. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, let that go. 2 more, exactly like that. Inhale. And release. Last one. And let that go. And just as you're here feeling your body in this moment, one word to describe your feeling right now. Has it shifted even just a little bit in these 30 seconds of getting more present, more connected to ourselves? Go ahead and write in the chat. What does that feel like to you? Was it a little bit more calming, a little more relaxing? Right. And so this is just an example for you that like 30 seconds of taking time to slow down and come back to ourselves can actually make a really big difference. Now, this isn't the lesson today, but I wanted to show you the power of taking 30 seconds, the power of you just being able to come back to yourself, not needing any resource other than your breath, other than your body, and your intention and focus on what's happening right now. So many times we're like pulled in all these different directions, and truly we aren't really great multitaskers. We like to think that, you know, we have this super skill of being multitaskers, but energetically what happens is that we have like all of these tethers taking away our energy instead of just focusing all of our energy on one thing at a time and doing it in a way that makes us feel really good and not depleted. So if you need any like breath work suggestions, if you have any questions as we go through this, if we're doing activities that bring up any questions, put in the chat. Happy to answer for you. But I would love to get into our very first lesson. And so what I'm going to do is I will pull up our workbook, and I'm going to give you the link just in case you didn't grab it yet. So I think I'll be able to put it in the chat, to be honest, if it would present itself on my computer. Here we go. All right. So I'm copying and pasting that into the chat here for you. And we're going to be on the very first day. And if you're like me, you might want to skip ahead because, you know, it's like teacher's pet or something. I'm like, I want to know exactly what's happening every single day. But basically what I've done is I've taken a lesson from Lovely Human School. And the biggest part is that, or the biggest thing that's different about the 8-week course is that typically other courses will just focus on mindset, or they'll just focus on mindfulness, and they don't really show you the building blocks to get to where you really want to go. So oftentimes we'll say like, oh, you can reach your dreams, you can achieve your goals, you can do all of these things. We're just going to focus on the goal and focus on what you want to achieve. When really, if we don't have mindset and have our brain wired properly and our nervous system regulated, it's going to be very difficult to achieve those goals. If you just focus on mindset, which is kind of like level 2, for those of us who are dysregulated or who do experience a lot of stress and have a lot of responsibilities, it's very hard to get our brains wired without step number 1, which is presence and reconnecting to ourselves. So today what we're going to do is we're starting right at the bottom, building the foundation, getting reconnected to ourselves. So what I want you to do right now is I want you to write down on a piece of paper. Do you all have journals? Yes, pen and paper. On the very first line, you're going to write, I'm sorry. Okay. And you're going to leave a space. The second line, or like the space underneath that, you're going to write, please forgive me. Got it? Okay. Then you're going to write, thank you. And then after that, you'll write, I love you. So this comes from an ancient Hawaiian tradition called Ho'oponopono. If you're in the mindfulness world, this might ring true for you. We're going to do something a little different with it today. So you've written down, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. We're going to hold on to that feeling that we had when we were breathing, where we felt a little more clear, a little more grounded, a bit more relaxed, a bit more energized. And I want you to finish those sentences. So when you think about you yourself, not anybody else, when you think about yourself, what are you sorry for? An example might be, I'm sorry for ignoring you. I'm sorry for not honoring your needs. I'm sorry for forgetting how wonderful you are, how strong you are. So we're tuning into ourselves, and we're really shifting this as if we were looking across at ourselves saying, I'm sorry. So go ahead and finish that line. I'm sorry, whatever that thing is. Cool. So just take a second. I'll sip on my mocha. And then you've probably guessed it by now, but you're going to do that for the other lines, right? So where it says, please forgive me, what do you need to forgive yourself for or ask forgiveness for from yourself? Please forgive me for being so disconnected, for prioritizing everybody else. And then thank you. Thank you for still being here. Thank you for still hoping. Thank you for still loving me. And then the very last line, I love you. And maybe you want to say like, I love you for, or I love you because. Maybe you just want to say, I love you. Right? Let me know when you've got it. Write in the chat. Those of you who are here live, those of you on the replay, I want to know. Maybe you can share. I'd love to know when you've got it. You don't have to share what the 4 are. It could be kind of personal, but if you want to share it, yes, I'm here for it. But let me know when you've got it. Let me know when you've got it. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And I love you. Awesome. Mia. Yes. Glad to have you here, Mia. Jess, you've got it. Awesome. Okay. Now you're going to do something that maybe you weren't expecting to do. We're going to grab phones. Yes. I want you to go to your timer. Okay. You're going to put 2 minutes on your timer. So actually go in. I'm going to show you mine. Scroll down to 2 minutes. Got it? Yes. Okay. And you're going to either set your phone up so that you can see your face, or what you're going to do is go and take yourself to your closest mirror. Maybe it's a bathroom. If you have lots of people around you, just excuse yourself to the bathroom. But you're going to go take your phone, have the timer on, no distractions, no, oh, I'm just going to scroll on TikTok for 2 minutes anyway. And you are going to recite these to yourself in the mirror. In the first few, you will have to probably look down and then look up. But eventually, what I would love is for you to be looking in your own eyeballs. Okay. Looking in your own eyeballs, saying, I'm sorry, whatever. Please forgive me, whatever. Thank you, whatever. I love you, whatever. Okay. So give me a sign here in the chat that yes, you've got it. You're ready. Oh boy, are you starting to sweat? You didn't sign up for this. You weren't ready to be thrown right into the action. This is what Lovely Human School 8-week course is. It is like we do not like beat around any sort of bush, bullseye, nothing. We are like dart in the middle, ready to go. This is how you create change. This is how you get reconnected to yourself. We're going to go. I'm going to count us down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start your clock, go to the mirror, don't come back until the timer is up. Ready, go. Okay, we are back potentially. Let me know when you return. And let me know how that was for you. Go ahead and write in the chat, what was it like looking in your own eyes? Jillian's back, Mia's back, good. Okay, tell me, what was that like? Did any emotion come up? Did it feel weird? Were you like a stranger? Were you seeing a best friend again? Did it make you emotional? Did it make you feel, oh, like uncomfy? What was the thing that came up for you? Or the things? Yeah, tell me how it felt weird. What was, yeah, what was the weirdness of it? See if you can pinpoint it. See if you can like get in there a little bit deeper. What made it feel weird? Was it because you hadn't looked at yourself that closely? Because you hadn't said these things? Saying, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. What was that like? Jillian says, uncomfortable but lovely. Yeah, admitting those things, saying them out loud can kind of be heavy, right? Especially if we've been avoiding ourselves for a long period of time or even a short period of time. And we don't often say sorry to ourselves. I think we forget sometimes that we are just like little versions of ourselves. 5 years old, I always think of me as like 7. And how would I speak to a 7-year-old? That's not always the language we use when we speak to ourselves, right? Holding like our cheeks in our hands and saying like, oh, baby girl, you did such a good job today, or I love you so much, or I'm so sorry that I had such high expectations of you today, where I put this pressure on you. Like I'm so sorry. Please forgive me for setting you up for disappointment or setting you up for hurt or not honoring your heart. I'm so, so sorry. What we do instead is we think that we have to have super high expectations of ourselves, and we hold ourselves to these like very rigid rules of how we should be in the world and who we should show up as, and we forget to just be unapologetically ourselves. And the very first step to sort of reclaiming that integrity to who we are is actually meeting ourselves again. And so I really wanted to share this one small exercise from the 8-week course so that you could see the power in just looking in your own eyeballs, in taking 2 minutes to see yourself maybe with new eyes, or in a different way than maybe you had seen yourself when you were trying on an outfit the last time you like stepped in front of a full-length mirror. Let me know what sort of like light bulbs are going off, or what sort of connections you're making with how you've been feeling and what this exercise proves is possible for you. Let me know in the chat before I give you a little bit of homework. What connections do you see from how you've been feeling lately to what happened during this activity, and maybe what possibility you see for yourself moving forward? I said that in 2 different ways. What does it prove is possible for you? Maybe that's a better way. 3 ways. While I get this next thing up and going. Yes, some relief and forgiveness. Yeah, you hit it for sure. And compassion and forgiveness are what we talk about in the first 2 modules of the 8-week course, where we really get a little bit deeper and into the stories that we've been telling ourselves of, I'm not good enough, I'm unworthy, I'm unlovable, I'm unwanted. And we start to really peel back those layers and understand where that comes from, and allow ourselves to feel the pain, but then also to bring the compassion and forgive ourselves for the choices that we've made, because we've been living those stories. So we kind of end up reclaiming our own power and reclaiming our own ability to take care of ourselves and love ourselves, and what we call reverence, having deep respect for ourselves. So I love that you came up with the forgiveness. One last thing for you. I know, especially in society right now, we have very weird relationships with our bodies, and we are told, 1 year to look this way, and then another year to look this way. And then, fashion comes in, and then there's influencers and influences that are just always like, you are not enough, you are not good enough, there's something wrong with you, you must change in order to be accepted or lovable. And so what I would love for you to do, whether you do it now or whether you take it tonight and maybe pour yourself a tea and start having some time alone and creating ritual in your life to take care of yourself, is to write your body a letter. And I'm going to ask you about it tomorrow. So you could just start your letter by saying, "Dear body," and then just go with it. Maybe you use this framework of saying, "Dear body, I'm sorry," or "Dear body, please forgive me," and you add on to it, giving examples or elaborating a little bit more. Totally your choice. You can go off script. You can use the ancient Hawaiian practice as a framework. But writing a letter to your body to really get reconnected to something that many of us almost innately disconnect from right away. When the outside world is saying there's so much chaos, there's so much stuff happening, immediately what we do is we just get out of body, and all of our focus is external. I'm wanting us to bring our focus back internal and allowing us to reclaim that energy so that you can see what is possible when we have all of our energetic frequency on board, and what that will do as we get closer to the life we actually want to live, and the one that I believe you are actually meant to be here for, right? Not just an ordinary life where you just wake up, you do your thing, you go to work, and then you get a paycheck, and maybe you do a vacation once a year, but an extraordinary life where you wake up with joy, you have so much compassion for yourself, and unlimited energy for yourself, the people in your life, the mission that you have, the service that you are excited about every single day. And I want to see what that does. I want to see how you feel and what small shifts you can really take from this one little piece of the 8-week course. So in the workbook, it says "Dear Body," and there's a space that you can write it. You can also do it in a journal. But that's me giving you some homework. What questions do you have for me as we wrap up this first little self-care reset? Let me know what questions you have. And I will be sending you a sneaky little surprise in an email later today that you can use tonight as part of your reset. But what questions do you have for me about what we talked about today? Haley, you jumped in. Hi, Alana. You might have to catch the replay. I'm going to post it up. If it doesn't automatically post, I'll post it up. What questions do you have? None for today. Awesome. No problem. Anybody else? Questions about anything self-care related, about morning rituals, nighttime rituals, mindfulness stuff? Tomorrow we're going to talk boundaries. Cool. Yeah, that's good. This was very self-explanatory. Tomorrow we're talking boundaries, and I feel like there'll be many more questions about boundaries. If you are looking for resources, please reach out. I'm looking over at one of 3 bookshelves that I have in my home. And so if you need books, if you need podcasts, I've got it all. Send me a message, send me an email. I would love if you would post up on Instagram and tag me when you are doing your letter so that I can celebrate you, and so that also you have some accountability to do it rather than just being oh yeah, that's just another thing on my list. You are here, you signed up for a reset, so let's friggin' do the work and actually take 10-15 minutes to do the letter, and then I'll celebrate you. And there may or may not be some sneaky prizes. There's always sneaky prizes. Okay, I'm going to wrap up. Look at me, 126, under 30 minutes. Let me know also in the portal if you have any questions. You can just like comment in. You can also send little DMs. Don't you love the portal? It is so cute and exciting. Circle.so, if anybody was wondering. Okay, I'm going to say goodbye on this replay here. And you're so welcome. This was fun. I do wish I could see your faces, though. I must say, this live stream business. If tomorrow you want to jump on Zoom, because I had Zoom on this little device here, you're so welcome to jump on Zoom as well if you want to show your face. But your choice. It kind of is convenient. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to head out. We all know I have attachment issues and hate saying goodbye to people. So I'm ending the stream. I'm sending you all this love. We are going to get connected to ourselves, mindful, sending you all the good vibes. Watch your email for something else that's going to take you even closer to yourself. Okay? See ya.